So landscaping season has started up for me again, and one of the things I like to do is go through audiobooks. Depending on the length of my day, the length of the book, I can generally go through about one a day. So what I hope I can do is come home at the end of the day and review this book, and hopefully solidify the concepts I learned in my own mind, and help you hopefully get a feel for what it is if you'd like to read it yourself or listen to it. I highly recommend LibriVox.org is where I get my audiobooks. They're generally pretty awesome. So that's my hope for this. So today's book that I listened to was by David Hume. It was an inquiry concerning the principles of morals. And David Hume wrote three inquiry books, the first being Inquiry Concerning Human Understanding, and that was more epistemology. This is more ethical. So Hume believed that morality is based on sentiment, not reason. You can't argue your way to moral imperatives. It's not based on logic. He believed that logic doesn't help because just because you know a fact doesn't cause you to act. And we know that morality is essentially about action. It's about what you do. This is kind of reminiscent to Aristotle in his Rhetoric, I think, where he explains that a good speaker can change the way someone thinks, it can change the way they feel, and it can change the way they act. And you kind of have to go through that spectrum. You have to go from thinking to feeling to acting. This feeling, this emotional aspect of this spectrum is necessary to action. You can't just go from the way someone thinks to the way they act, because these have to incite emotions. So emotions are kind of the catalyst for action, according to Hume. And he believes that morals are good because they have utility for the individual. They make the person happy. They keep him from bad situations. He uses drunkenness as an example. He said, well, if liquor wasn't bad for you, if it didn't cause you to get drunk and do stupid stuff, or it caused you to die of liver failure, then, well, liquor wouldn't be immoral. But it is immoral because it is bad for you. He said there's no such thing as gluttony for water or gluttony for air, because these things are fine for you, and in fact they're helpful for you. So the individual benefits when he's moral, when he does good things and refrains from bad things, but so does society. When morality is rampant, if you would, society benefits. This is kind of a precursor, I think, to Kant's categorical imperative, which states that if one person does something and that thing is turned into a universal law, and that universal law causes humanity basically to implode on itself. For instance, if someone says, I want murder to be a universal law, well, then there would be no people. So when I listened to this, I definitely felt that related, and it's no wonder, because Hume was a big influence on Kant. So basically, Hume believes that to be virtuous and to abstain from vice is basically what makes you happy. You do it because not only does it work, it keeps you safe, but inevitably it makes you happy. Hume believes that certain vices of his time and certain virtues of his time were actually the opposite. He looked at the church and some of the things that they were propagating, and he says, oh, well, you think it's virtuous to abstain from good things, to, for instance, fasting. You think that's virtuous, but really what you're doing is taking away something good from your life, and he calls that a vice. Definitely not necessarily agreeing with him on that. I think that there are certain things that are, I guess it depends on your framework, whether or not you believe in God, and whether or not you believe that there are eternal consequences for things. Well, then that might change your stance on that. But personally, I believe that there are definitely abstentions from good things that can cause good things in the long run, I guess. So this was Inquiry concerning the principles of morals. I think tomorrow I'm doing the symposium, but I'm not sure. So if you disagree with anything I said, let me know. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. Yeah, hoping to do more of these. Thanks a lot.